Why indifference is power. Indifference is often seen as a negative trait, associated with apathy and lack of concern. However, when viewed from a different perspective, indifference can actually be a source of power. In this blog, we will explore why indifference is power and how it can be used to achieve personal and professional success. Firstly, indifference allows us to detach ourselves from negative emotions and distractions. When we are indifferent, we are less likely to be affected by external factors that could cause stress, anxiety, or anger. This can be particularly useful in high-pressure situations, where maintaining a clear and focused mindset is essential. By staying emotionally neutral, we can make more rational decisions and avoid being overwhelmed by our emotions. Secondly, indifference can be a form of self-preservation. It allows us to prioritize our own needs and well-being over the opinions and demands of others. This doesn't mean that we should ignore the feelings of those around us, but rather that we should be selective about where we invest our time and energy. By choosing to be indifferent to certain situations, we can conserve our resources and focus on what really matters to us. Thirdly, indifference can be a powerful tool in negotiations and interpersonal relationships. When we show a lack of interest or attachment to a particular outcome, we can appear more confident and less desperate. This can give us an advantage in situations where we are negotiating for something we want, or when we are trying to assert ourselves in a group setting. By appearing indifferent, we can create the impression that we are in control of the situation and that we have other options available to us. Finally, indifference can be a way of asserting our own identity and values. When we refuse to be swayed by the opinions and beliefs of others, we demonstrate a strong sense of self and a willingness to stand up for what we believe in. This can be particularly important in a world where conformity is often rewarded and individuality is discouraged. Of course, there are times when indifference can be harmful, such as when it leads to a lack of empathy or compassion. However, when used wisely, indifference can be a powerful tool for achieving personal and professional success. By detaching ourselves from negative emotions, prioritizing our own needs, asserting our own identity, and appearing confident in negotiations, we can harness the power of indifference to reach our goals and live our best lives. It's important to note that indifference should not be confused with apathy or indifference towards important issues or causes. It's important to care about and take action on issues that matter, such as social justice, climate change, and human rights. However, even in these cases, it's possible to apply the principle of indifference in a way that allows us to stay calm and rational, without becoming overwhelmed by negative emotions. In addition, it's important to remember that indifference is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Different situations call for different responses, and sometimes it's necessary to show empathy and concern. However, by cultivating the ability to be indifferent when appropriate, we can become more resilient, confident, and focused individuals. Indifference can be a powerful tool for achieving personal and professional success. By staying emotionally neutral, prioritizing our own needs, appearing confident in negotiations, and asserting our own identity, we can harness the power of indifference to reach our goals and live fulfilling lives. However, it's important to use this tool wisely and in a way that is consistent with our values and principles.